This is life in Russia. Siberia, city of Bratsk, a place most people in the world have never seen with their own eyes. Modern buildings, gated courtyards, warm apartments even in freezing winters. And just outside, a completely different climate, a completely different reality. So what does everyday life actually look like here? Let's go inside. We're currently standing in front of one of the most modern residential buildings in our city. And to be honest, for this city, this is probably one of the best residential complexes available today. It's a relatively small city, and for a long time there weren't many high-quality new developments here, mostly older buildings or housing projects built for relocation purposes. So this building really stands out from everything around it. It was completed fairly recently, and from day one it became a noticeable exception. Modern architecture, solid construction quality, and an overall standard that simply wasn't common here before. The territory is gated, which immediately creates a sense of privacy and security. There are 2 small parking areas for residents. They're not huge, but for this type of building, it's more than enough, and everything is organized quite conveniently. By the way, I'm curious, what does new residential construction look like in your city? Do you have buildings like this, or is it still mostly older housing stock? Here, the feeling is completely different, like a small step forward compared to what existed before. Now let's take a look at the courtyard of this residential complex, and I'll say right away, by local standards, this is probably one of the most modern courtyards in the city. Honestly, there's almost nothing else like it in this format. Everything here is designed for different lifestyles and scenarios. There's a dedicated dog walking area, convenient for pet owners. For children, there are several zones. Playgrounds for younger kids with climbing and play structures, and more dynamic, sport-oriented areas for older children. There's also a full amphitheater used for community events, holidays, and seasonal celebrations like New Year activities. A small but interesting detail, there are outdoor tables for board games like chess and checkers. Throughout the courtyard, there are plenty of trash bins, and everything is kept clean and well maintained, which really adds to the sense of order. For sports, there's a full set of facilities, workout zones, bars, climbing structures, and training areas. There's even a ping pong table and a boxing bag. So this is not just a courtyard, it's really a full activity space. For relaxation, there are wooden lounges. In summer, you can just come outside, lie down, relax, or sunbathe. In the evening, both the building and the courtyard are beautifully lit. And in warm seasons, it really creates a very atmospheric environment. Right now, of course, we're filming in spring, so you can still see some snow and unfinished greenery. But in summer, it looks completely different, much brighter and much more comfortable. Now let's go inside and take a look at the building entrance. There are 2 entry points, from the street side and from the courtyard side, so access is convenient from both directions. You can enter using either an intercom system or an electronic key. The lobby and hallways are very clean, modern, and well maintained. You can immediately tell that the building is properly cared for. There is a video surveillance system installed throughout the building with multiple cameras, which creates a strong sense of safety. Here we also have mailboxes and even a separate box for used batteries, a small but surprisingly useful detail you don't see in many buildings. There is one elevator, but it's large, combining both passenger and freight functions. Spacious, convenient, and even with soft background music inside. One interesting thing, the entrance area is extremely warm. Not just warm, sometimes almost too warm, which is something I honestly haven't experienced in many other buildings. All apartment doors are made in a unified style, solid, identical, and visually strong. They provide good sound insulation and a sense of privacy. Cleaning is done regularly by maintenance staff, so the common areas stay consistently clean. And now, a small magic moment. So here's the entrance door. And yes, the glass is slightly damaged, which creates an unusual visual effect, almost like there is no barrier at all. And it feels like I'm literally walking through the glass, and now the magic stepping through the glass and I'm inside. Now let's take a look at the apartment itself. This is a compact studio of about 25 square meters of living space. In recent years, this format has become increasingly popular here. Modern studios instead of traditional one-bedroom apartments. And in reality, it's a very practical solution, especially for a single person or a couple. Despite the small size, the space feels very well planned and functional. The apartment is divided into logical zones. A sleeping area separated by a partition, an entrance hallway, and the main living space with a kitchen. The main idea here is not size, but efficient use of every square meter. There are multiple storage areas, including built-in wardrobes and hidden compartments, which help keep the space clean and organized. Overall, it's a calm and comfortable apartment, ideal for one person, and also suitable for a couple if needed. There is no feeling of tightness here. On the contrary, Everything is arranged so that nothing gets in the way, but everything remains within reach. One of the key features of this apartment is the lighting. It's designed in a modern style and plays a major role in how the space feels. The main idea is integrated ceiling lighting lines, running through different zones of the apartment and creating soft, even illumination without bulky fixtures. This makes the space feel lighter, cleaner, and more modern. The apartment can feel either bright and open or more cozy and subdued, depending on how the lighting is used. There are linear lights in the hallway, living area, and bathroom, creating a minimal and clean aesthetic. In addition, there is focused lighting, bedside lights for reading or evening relaxation. Above the dining area, there is a simple modern fixture that softly highlights the space. There is also lighting for the work area and decorative curtain lighting, which adds warmth in the evening. The main advantage is that there are no large hanging chandeliers that visually lower the ceiling or make the space feel heavier. Instead, the built-in lighting emphasizes height and makes the apartment feel more spacious and refined. Now let's talk about the flooring. The entire apartment uses quartz vinyl, a modern material that combines practicality and aesthetics. The main advantage is water resistance. So if you come in from outside and bring in water or snow, it doesn't affect the surface at all. Unlike laminate or wood flooring, it won't swell or deform. This is especially convenient for everyday living when you don't have to worry about the floor. Another important detail is that the entire apartment uses a single continuous floor covering without thresholds or breaks. The flooring flows seamlessly from the entrance area into the living space and even into the bathroom, creating a unified visual space that makes the apartment feel larger. In the bathroom, this is especially practical. You can use water freely and the surface remains in perfect condition. From a design perspective, it also looks very modern and clean. One continuous surface creates a minimalist, cohesive interior. The wall finishes are also worth noting. Light tones are used throughout the apartment, which visually expands the space and makes it feel more open. Decorative plaster adds texture and prevents the interior from feeling empty or flat. Thin black accent lines are used in the design, adding geometry and contrast. Another interesting detail: hidden flush doors painted in the same color as the walls. They almost disappear into the surface, creating a very clean and minimalist effect. Overall, the design follows one clear idea: a modern, light, and visually calm interior without unnecessary noise. Now let's take a look at the bathroom. It is compact but very functional and well optimized. Every element is placed to save space while maintaining comfort in everyday use. The focus here is not size, but practicality and efficiency. Everything feels clean, simple, and logically arranged. This is a case where a small space is used very effectively without feeling cramped. Now the kitchen area, it's compact but fully functional and designed for daily living. Everything is built in and organized to save space while maintaining convenience. The kitchen is integrated into the main living area, so it doesn't feel separate. It naturally fits into the overall interior. The main idea here is minimalism and practicality. Everything you need is here, but nothing feels excessive. The appliances are neatly built into the cabinetry, which keeps the space clean and modern. The TV is also positioned in a way that it can be seen both from the kitchen and the sleeping area, making the layout more convenient for everyday life. Now the sleeping area. It is separated from the entrance zone, which creates a more private and comfortable environment within the studio. The space is organized for rest and relaxation with minimal distractions. An important detail: the TV is clearly visible from the sleeping area, making it easy to relax and unwind. This is the part of the apartment focused entirely on comfort and rest. Now let's take a look at the balcony. It's fairly spacious, about 6 square meters, and fully enclosed with modern double-glazed windows. The apartment is located on the 7th floor, so the view opens up over the city with a clear distance perspective. There is no feeling of being stuck between buildings, which is a big advantage. The view is calm. You can see city infrastructure, a kindergarten, shops, and open space without dense buildings directly in front. The balcony is still in development, but its potential is already clear. The plan is to turn it into a small relaxation area, add flooring, a table and chairs, a place to spend evenings, relax, and enjoy the city view. Now let's talk about storage. Everything here is simple and functional. There is enough storage for one person or a couple to live comfortably. Most of the space is intentionally left open so the future owner can organize it as they wish. The kitchen has basic essentials, while other storage areas remain flexible and open. Overall, the apartment feels clean, minimal, and ready to move in. Now a quick note on comfort and climate. The apartment has adjustable radiators allowing you to control the heating level, make it warmer or cooler as needed. High quality windows help retain heat during winter and prevent cold drafts. In summer, there is an air conditioner to maintain a comfortable temperature. Overall, the apartment is suitable for year-round living, warm in winter and cool in summer. And now let's talk about numbers. I purchased this apartment for around $50,000. After a full renovation and furnishing, another $20,000 was invested, so the total investment is approximately $70,000. The current market value is around $90,000. Expected rental income is around $500 per month, possibly slightly lower depending on conditions. Monthly utilities are about $60, including basic services such as water, electricity, internet, building maintenance, and waste removal. And now the most important part, the logic behind this purchase. To be honest, this apartment was never intended to maximize yield. It's a conservative investment, focused not on aggressive returns, but on capital preservation and stability. This is not a traditional business model that should be judged only by profitability. Here's the breakdown. Total investment, touched $70,000 annual rent, touched $6,000. That's a gross yield of about 8.6% per year. After utilities, $60 per month. Net income is about $440 per month, or roughly $5,280 per year. That gives a net yield of approximately 7.5% annually. It's also important to understand the market context. Similar apartments in this city typically rent for around $300. This one rents for around $500 because the building quality, renovation level, and overall standard are significantly higher. So this is not about maximizing short-term profit, but about owning a higher quality asset that preserves value and generates stable cash flow. There is also no rental history yet, so real market behavior still needs to be tested. Overall, this is a calm, conservative real estate investment, not a high-risk or speculative business project.